So now we are working on algebra homework, section 3.8, and I will just help you with a couple of problems from each of the section of the worksheet. Number 1, 2x plus y is 5, and we need to solve for y. In other words, get the y by itself. So that's our job. What's in our way this time? It's 2x. We are adding 2x plus y. So what we can do is subtract those 2x. But to keep it the same, we have to make sure we do the same operation on the right hand side as well. And then what do we get? 2x minus 2x cancels each other out. We have y is, and then these are not like terms, so we just have to copy them. 5 minus 2x. And this is your final answer for number 1. Done. Brilliant. What do we do with number 2? Again, we have to get all the y's by themselves. So, it's 4x this time in our way. And we again subtract it. Minus 4x, both sides. These two cancel each other out. We have minus y is 3 minus 4x. And now this is a little problem. We have minus y equals. We are looking for a solution for y. So what do we need to do this time? We need to multiply the whole thing by minus 1. And just remember, we have to do both sides. And we also have to make sure that we multiply all the terms on the left and all the terms on the right. So on the left we get minus y times minus 1 is y. That's exactly what we needed. We are on our way. Now we are multiplying, basically distributing. Minus 1 times 3, minus 3. Minus 1 times minus 4x is plus 4x. And I just want to bring your attention to this fact that we are multiplying the whole expression. If it helps you, put the parentheses around that whole side so that you remember that you are distributing. Do not forget, it has to be all terms. We are done with first 2 problems. Now please keep working all the way until 6. Pause this video and then you can join me again if you need help with number 7. And that's what we are working on now, number 7. This time we have to solve for x. So I will circle the x just to show us what we are looking for. And we need to get rid of everything else. First we are multiplying here and we are adding. What do we undo first? We first have to subtract. We have to undo the addition by subtracting. So we have to subtract 5y from both sides. What do we get here? We still have 2x. This got cancelled out. That's great news. And then we have 10 minus 5y. But we are not done. We have 2x. How do we get x alone? I hope you remember when it's 2x, that basically means 2 times x. Multiplication. So how do we undo multiplication? By dividing. Good job. So we divide again. We have to divide all terms by the same number. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we have only x on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, we can either copy it this way, 10 minus 5y divided by 2, or we can simplify it even better. And that would be 10 divided by 2 is 5 minus, remember the sign, 5y divided by 2. That cannot be really simplified, so 2y. And this is our final answer for this problem. I have a feeling that I wrote it somewhere where you do not see, so let me just copy the final answer. X is 5 minus 5 over 2y. This would be the final answer. So we are done with problem 7. Let me erase these things so that we can get ready with problem number 8. I hope this is helpful and you will be brilliant in class. So again, we have multiplication here, right? Remember, this is times. And we have addition. Addition has to be undone first. So we do it by inverse operation, which is subtraction, minus 3y. Make sure you subtract that expression from both sides. What we are left with is 4x equals, and then on the right hand side they are not like terms, so we have to just copy 12 minus 3y. Again, we need to undo multiplication. How do we do that? With inverse operation, and that would be division. We are dividing everything by 4. Again, I put emphasis on everything. If it helps you, put parentheses here so you remember that this whole thing, not just 12, it has to be the whole expression. And what we are getting here, 4 and 4 gets cancelled out. We get x is 12 minus 3y divided by 4, which is 12 divided by 4 is 3 minus 3/4 of y. And this is final answer for this problem. Brilliant. Please continue with those problems, and then I have few more to help you with. You can pause, solve your problems, and you can even try solving 13 and 15 and check, did you do it correctly? Okay, and I'm getting ready to solve this problem. The instruction says, solve for the given variable. This is what they gave us, and this is the given variable. So this is what we need to get by itself. What are we doing here? What operation are we using? This is again multiplication. I hope you remember now, if you have two letters next to each other, it means I times R, that's multiplication. We cancel that by dividing. So we will be dividing everything by I. And we will be dividing this by I. So we get E divided by I is, no, the i's get cancelled and we get R. This is the final answer for problem 13. Again, this is the variable we are looking for this time. We have to solve for h. This is it. How do we undo it? All we have here is multiplication and multiplication. But first, we are multiplying by a fraction. How do we undo that? Instead of 1/3, we want to have just 1 there. And that happens if we multiply by 3, by the denominator. Just remember, we have to do both sides. So, on the left-hand side, we have 3v equals 1/3 times 3. You have learned the properties, you know that this is inverse property, and you get number 1. That's what we wanted. You don't even have to write it, but I just want to make it very clear for you. A. So this is number 1. And I will trace everything else in blue. This is just to show you what you have gotten from this multiplication. You got number 1. What do we have here? A times 1 times h. How do we get h by itself? And I hope you know now, by dividing by a. So our answer is going to be 3v divided by a equals to h. This is it. Nice and easy. You see, it seems a little complicated, but as long as you realize you have to multiply by the denominator to get rid of the fraction, it becomes very easy. And one more problem, problem 16. I thought it looks complicated, so why don't we go ahead and solve this one together as well. The first step should be very clear by now. We are solving for f. That's important to read the directions. We have a fraction that has a denominator 9. what did we say in the previous problem? If we have a denominator, we will want to multiply everything on the left hand side and on the right hand side by number 9. And again, I'm going to write it step by step just to make it very clear. On the left hand side we get 9 times c, 9c. On the right hand side it would be 9 times 5 divided by 9 and then multiplied by f minus 32. And this is it. This is multiplication. The 9 and 9, it's not 95, this is multiplication. The 9's cancel each other out. So what we have now is 9c is 5f minus 32. Now we need to get the f all by itself. And we still have parentheses. So what we need to do is undo the multiplication to get the contents. We were multiplying by 5. Now we have to divide everything by 5. So what we get on the left hand side is 9/5 c is f minus 32. And after adding 32, that's inverse operation to subtraction, we get the final answer, which is 9/5c plus 32 equals f. I know it looks a little bit complicated, but it's the basic steps one by one by one. So just focus on the basic steps and do it step by step and you will get right there. The other way how you could have solved it, if you do not want to do it step by step, in the first step you can multiply everything by inverse to 5/9, which would be 9/5. This is just heads up. You can do that. Again, you have to remember to do both sides. And that will just make it easy. You will not have to do it in 2 steps in that case. You will just end up with the parentheses in the middle. In fact, I can do it for you. So let me start right here. We will be multiplying left hand side by 9/5. It's gonna be 9/5c equals, and now 5/9 times 9/5 is 1. So all we have is f minus 32. And then this is the last step we need to do. Add 32, and we end up with the exactly same solution. So you can see there are many ways to get to the correct answer. I showed you 2 ways just so you can choose what is more comfortable for you. I will see you in the class.